Hey guys, I know this episode is super late. I'm so sorry about that. I just want to remind you guys again, this is kind of like a volunteer podcast, and thank you for sticking with us if you're a listener. If you're new to this podcast, just kind of know that these episodes kind of sometimes come out sporadically. We try to hit every week. We do host our movie nights every Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific time in our Discord server. So you could go to bufferbuddies.com. For more information on that and help us out with that. If you want to be on it, just have a somewhat decent microphone and join our Discord and let us know you want to be a part of it. It's just kind of the flaw with this is not enough people show up. If Tiffany's busy and other people don't show up, then we can't record the episode. So again, please tell your friends, spread the word, help morale by telling your friends about it, and then help us out. Join the podcast, be a part of it. It's a lot of great fun. Like I said, what you hear is pretty much what it is. It's unedited. It's just a bunch of friends hanging out, and we'd love to meet you and have you on the podcast as well. Until then, just know that we try to release them every once in a while. Just subscribe on your podcast app and just listen to them when they come out, whenever they come out. That's how I listen to my podcast, at least. I don't really care about release dates. I just listen to them. And if you do that for us, we really appreciate it. And we hope that you enjoy the product that we produce out of this organic kind of fun experience. So I'm sorry for taking up so much of the intro, but just wanted to get that out there. No, I want to let you guys know why there was like a 2-week gap between these episodes. But I hope you enjoy the episode. Hey guys, you're listening to the long-awaited episode 77 of Buffer Buddies. I'm Jared from UpDownLeftDie.
I'm Tiffany from UpDownLeftDie.
I'm Peter, aka CoderGeek42, friend of UpDownLeftDie.
And we have Aranya in silent chat and Favalava in silent chat, and we're watching Sister Act, the first degree.
Yeah.
Was there a degree in this? Was there a subtitle to this film? I thought it was just called...
it was like the revenge of the Sith.
The revenge of the Sithers.
Let me ask. Oh, that's pretty good. Let me ask you a question, Jared.
Yep.
Have you seen this movie before?
Like in pieces and parts, I think. I don't think I've ever like watched it through. This is such an old movie and definitely not something I'm interested in watching.
Are you aware that it's basically a musical?
I guess not.
If you count like 3 songs in the film being a musical, sure.
Honestly, how many songs are in like Aladdin? There's like 3 or 4. Like
7-ish, I think. Well, like
7?
Like 4
that seems
main
like
ones.
way too many. Yeah, I feel like if you're like, hey, sing all the famous songs from Aladdin, I think someone would spit out like 4 songs.
Well, there's the intro one. There is Friend Like Me. There is Prince Ali. There is the one where he's being chased. Aladdin's being chased through the streets, where he's being called a street rat. There is the one where he's reprising Prince Ali and like confessing himself, or being confessed of himself by Jafar rather to Jasmine, and then that's really 4 with a reprise. That's all I can think of offhand. I know there's probably more, but it's not coming to mind.
All right.
Nice job.
I sit corrected. But I would say this is basically a musical.
That's fun.
I mean, I think that's the intent of the film. Yeah, definitely. It's meant to be
oh
like.
My gosh. The whole thing is all. I don't know what's going on with the. So yeah. If you guys don't know what this podcast is, it's Buffer Buddies. It's a movie night podcast with some friends. You could go to bufferbuddies.com for more information on how to listen up and join and share that link with your friends and whatnot. The website that we use is called Rabbit, RABB.IT. It's kind of a cool like cloud hosted browser. I feel like it's just getting worse. Every time I use it, I swear it's getting worse. Was it all jumpy, or is it still all like lagging jumpy for you guys?
I had to do the thing where I make the window smaller and then get it back, like maximize it again, and now it's okay. But even then, like when I got into Rabbit this time, it was all like the UI just felt sluggish. Like it looks really nice, it just feels really sluggish. I don't know.
Yeah, we've been complaining about the new UI. I'm chewing.
it sounds like robots.
Yeah, it's done that for a while now, but I feel like it's even worse. It's so funny. Yeah, because they did a UI makeover and it looks pretty, but functionally I hate it.
Yeah, they need to optimize so much of it right now.
It's more clunky, I feel like, even though it looks better. I have every time I'm like, how do I start the movie? And yeah, we had this this robot issue with the sound, and I feel like that's only gotten worse too. And I turned it on low quality, and that helps a little bit. But man, is low quality low? It is garbage low.
What is it like?
Can you
bad
go?
480? Is it like 240p quality? I'm gonna just try it. I'm curious.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's like 240.
Oh god, it's all blocky. Oh god, it's like I'm back in the 90s.
Yeah, I don't like this.
After downloading it, not just streaming it.
Yeah, you have low quality. You have 0.2 gigs per hour, and then you have high quality 1 gig per hour. What about any other number in between those? How about 0.5 gigs per hour? Like, it's
like some medium quality, some.
Yeah, high's not bad. High's pretty good quality, but low's is terrible. Like, give me a third option here. Oh man!
Like it's either let's watch this film in the crappiest pixelated blocky format.
I am.
Or let's pretend you have super amazing high speed bandwidth that you can watch this in like what is it, 720p, 1080p? That it's at full res.
Oh,
Which
man.
I mean, decent broadband should if you have it, but like.
I like the robot thing.
Knowing America, it's like
So they're like, I don't know who these people are, but there's these 3 ladies doing like singing. I never seen this ever in my life, this style of singing before. But they're singing on a stage, and they kind of remind me of like the animatronics that you would see at like Chuck E. Cheese. And so when it stutters, it's so like, yeah, this is great.
I was literally gonna say the same thing.
I knew you were, which is why I had a butt in and say it before.
How dare you?
I was like, Tiffany's gonna say this thing, and I want it to be my idea.
I do agree with you, but I'm trying to remember the actual style that they're singing is Mo something. It's like Mo. I don't know. The word starts with Mo, and it's in my brain, and I can't pull it. Motown. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you.
I am an expert on music. I'm not, but for this podcast,
wait a minute.
Pretend.
Is this in English?
Yes. Well, no, this part's French.
Oh, is it supposed to be? I don't know what it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be English. No, because he's supposed to be like a mob guy.
Uh-oh.
Bro, this whole thing's in French.
Shall we keep going?
I mean,
I can't read these things because the quality is so low. I can't read the settings.
The playback settings is the first option on that menu. And then... you have to do it through their app or something. What is this?
Through their app.
Like, go back to playback settings. It tells you a message. It says to configure default playback settings, stop the playback, then click the icon at the top right section of the app.
We might have to watch. Oh, wow. Let's see. There's got to be. Oh, geez. Let's see. Audio. Is there a different audio track on this thing?
There's edit metadata, subtitles, images, identify, sync, add to collection, add to playlist. If you click the little gear at the very top right.
Audio. Okay. Give me a second here. Give me 1 second. Okay. I found the button. It's right here. All right. I'm hitting play.
I just want to point out that Aranya discovered that she was 3% Vietnamese, so now she's throwing around Vietnamese words like it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
But I mean...
Does she know how to pronounce it, though? That's the problem.
Yeah, don't the diacritics and the what's it called? The tone color change what the actual word is?
Yep.
So... Because I remember my friend Lee telling me there's 6 or 7 different tone colors in Vietnamese that are like you can just have completely different words for completely different stuff, just how you pronounce it rather than what you pronounce.
Let me.
I'm talking way out of my element because I have literally like next to zero knowledge of Vietnamese.
You know what? You probably know.
You just lost all our Vietnamese listeners.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Goodbye. No, let me show you.
Hey Google, apologize in Vietnamese for me.
Right. Xin lỗi. That's how you say sorry.
Xin lỗi.
Ah,
There
very
it
good. Thank you.
See? See?
Also, I
See that?
apologize for triggering people's devices. I shouldn't do that on a podcast, of course.
But so Jai is fire, I think. And then Jai is run. And then Jai is like a container. So it's like, it's crazy. It is all in the tones.
So if there was a fire, someone would be just like, Jai, because like run, fire, contain it. They'd just be saying that over and over in like different like pronunciations.
Okay, now I'm really curious. Can you like
Run, fire, contain it. Contain the fire, run. We have to contain the fire, run. There's a
Can
fire.
you repeat the run and fire differences? Because I really couldn't hear anything. Like, this is my no accent American ear, which is really, really bad at detecting.
Okay, so I'm also I like English is my first language. I grew up in a Vietnamese household, but they didn't really teach me Vietnamese. But it's like one of those things where it's like you absorb and you understand, but you can't speak it. So I'm doing my best, and I'm probably saying it wrong also. But fire is no, not fire. Burning, burning is Jai. And then running is Jai.
Okay, so that one was like a more even tone.
And then a boy is like Jai.
Oh no.
So run, fire boy, run, burning boy.
I was gonna say, because what an efficient language. It sounds like, dude, that sounds like organically like, or at least, or the fire, run, contain one. It sounded like those words kind of evolved organically. And I was thinking, like, what an efficient language, though. If you're like, if there are associations like, well, that's fire, and you run, you know, it's like, if that happened, that would be like a really cool like origin of the language. But I don't know. I just thought that was interesting, that there was like similarities, because those words probably were like, yeah, back when the language was first being created, people were just like saying fire, run. What? You mean fire? I mean run. Well, I'm running.
I feel like,
and they just like agreed that like, yeah, you run from fire.
I don't know if that works, but I'll accept it.
I'm thinking like
Vietnamese might not be old enough for that logic to actually apply. I don't know. I mean, like
accepting it as canon.
Yeah. Like early languages, I'm sure worked on some level of that. Like maybe more ancient languages. I don't know.
I've accepted this as the world's canon.
Not the actual like launching a cannonball the shape and size of Earth that just happens to have us on it by some massive intergalactic civilization.
Yes.
Oh, and we're a TV show? What?
I guess so.
I like this version of Sister Act so much, because I like the idea that Whoopi Goldberg is a robot.
Yeah, she is an animatronic at this Las Vegas casino, and she's like, I'm sentient, and I'm going to California to follow my dreams. And like she's escaping.
Thank you for riding taxi cab.
The robot's escaping. It's sentient.
Whoopi Goldbutt.
Whoopi Goldbutt.
Sorry,
I just have a new Twitter account.
Oh no! You could do the thing where like you feed it, 100,000 or whatever quotes from the actual one, as I can do like a machine learning thing to just artificially guess what quotes would come out.
Have you seen what is it? Forever Jeopardy? Infinite Jeopardy?
Infinite Jeopardy. Actually, I had a few people retweet a few of them.
Endless Jeopardy. That's what it's called.
And I saw one retweet from one of, I think it was either Brian Hamilton or Allison Chews or one of the podcasters that I follow.
Adol Rafai won first place in one of the things and then lost it all because he didn't put his next answer as a question. So he won like $2,000 and then he lost it. It's really funny.
Oh no! Rip those $1,000.
Or fake $1,000.
Are they fake $1,000?
Yeah. I don't think it's real. It's just a bot, and then it's your Jeopardy money, but it's a fake Twitter game.
Oh, I see. Is it the same kind of thing where it's like it just provides random clues and you're supposed to answer them with the question?
Mm-hmm. So
okay,
they're procedurally generated clues. So which is actually like really smart, because they don't actually have to be like fully grammatically correct or actually mean anything, because the way it works is the answers, or the question, I guess, in this case, is voted on by people, and then the one with the most likes after 15 minutes, that's first, second, third, and you get money based on that, or your score, and then it resets. I don't know how often, once a day or something like that. So every hour, procedurally generated answer. So it's like, this movie was coined the phrase ditch digger, and then someone like won with Doug, or this TV show. So Doug the show.
Doug funny.
Yeah, there's another one. I can't remember what it was. Shovel. It was shovel something. So.
Okay, I probably don't have the rights to do that, so I'm gonna stop.
And so then the most likes you get, that's how you win. So it's all like community voting, and all these people making puns and stuff like that. It's pretty.
That sounds like a weird hybrid of like Family Feud, Family Feud, Jeopardy, and like something else that I can't put my finger on.
It's really cool. I really wish I was one of those people that made something like that. I'm always like, dang, that's a good idea, but also seems like a lot of work. Well, you know Python, right? So.
I love Python.
Have you delved into any machine learning? And how come Python's always like referred to when you hear about machine learning?
I have not done any myself, but Python does have a lot of really well optimized high level like mathematical libraries, matrix libraries and stuff, which are very useful for doing machine learning but also it has like you can basically build in C and assembly modules. So you can call into those like, when you really need it optimized.
I was like, I know Python's used a lot in sciences because I went to a physics club meeting once in college. And like every person was like, well, then I use Python to build this model. And I'm like, oh, all the people in science use Python because it's easy to learn. But I'm like, it's not really the most efficient language for like calculating mass densities of black holes. Like something that's like very difficult. But I think
but then you have... You have like mathematical software packs that basically integrate with whatever you're doing,
so it's either,
and implement whatever you need in a really, really efficient way, like NumPy or SciPy, or there's a couple of R libraries, there's Scilab, there's Octave, there's a whole bunch of different things which are basically like, let's take all this really fancy mathematical stuff like linear algebra packs and stuff and matrix multiplication, all these things that would normally require like extensive computation, and we're going to implement those very specific things in like C and assembly and make them really, really fast, but then, have higher level stuff that integrates with Python. You can just call it like regular Python routines and stuff.
Yeah, because I was going to say it's either one of those things where it's like, oh, you're just referencing something else that does the heavy lifting, like something more efficient, and or it's not a big enough hindrance to the performance as it is like, oh, it's easier for me to learn. I don't care that it takes longer, but yeah, I just saw like a bundle for like machine learning, and like I never really thought of like doing it myself, but I just saw like a book bundle. It's like, oh, for like $1, like you could buy all these books. I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of interested in doing it. I don't know how easy it would be to pick up for like a side project, but it's one of these things where I've been like, I really want to see this in machine learning. And I'm like, what if I just freaking did it myself? Because I have the data and I'm like, what's that?
Google has TensorFlow APIs in Python, which are basically like you call into Google's own services for that stuff. It's just like massive data. Data analysis that's just like, here, you give it all the stuff and it just tells you back, like gives you back basically a neural network, and it's like, here you go. Have
really?
fun.
How easy is that? Because my thing is like, I just don't know anything about developing something like that, but I'm like, dude, I could like change. Like, I have this idea that would like change the face of like this game I play. If I don't know if anyone else has done machine learning on it yet, but the data's just sitting there, and I'm just so like, I could just grab all this data and train a model on it, and I'd be like, I would be like, it would just be incredible. I don't know. If it worked, I'd be like, everyone would be like, wow, you're so good. I'm like, oh yeah, I have a computer. Like, because the thing is, I don't want humans doing this. The
tutorials for some of that stuff, and it looks like it would be pretty straightforward if you're already a competent programmer, but which of course you are. I'm not going to say otherwise.
I might have to look into that, because I'm definitely like, it'd be great, because I could just cheese the whole like system where people will be like, wow, you're really good, and I'm like, yeah, I'm really good, and like, how are you making so many like of these like things? I'm like, secrets. And then
you can make a machine learning bot that outputs data packs that other machine learning bots can learn from. So like a machine that builds machines. Be super meta.
Well, I could
be terrible because the data would mean nothing, but
yeah. I could take the data. because it's like user generated content, right? And so like I could just I could put up something that it generates and then use that back and re-ingest that as input data after user feedback is generated on it. So it can still self-learn off of the content it puts out. But I don't know.
I wouldn't necessarily trust user feedback that highly though, because if you look at systems like a lot of YouTube like systems or things that try to get that, you basically have groups of users that will troll the algorithms to like tell. There was actually one where a few years back Microsoft tried to do like an artificial intelligent machine learning.
The Twitter bot was so funny.
Yeah, and they basically like it learned that like the correct worldview according to its machine learning algorithm was like you should be a Nazi and do all these crazy bad things, and everyone's like, what the hell just happened? And it picked up on the garbage fire that is Twitter, and like, there you go.
At least there's some for that was at least there was some it's sort of comforting to know that people were like intentionally trolling it, which makes it way more funny than like if no one trolled it and that's the way it came out. It'd be a little. At least it was like, well, it wasn't totally like.
If no one trolled it and it just like the algorithm was legitimately correct to start with, and then it just like learned that from what Twitter actually is, that would just be more proof in like everybody's mind of just like, look at the dumpster fire that Twitter is. Like, here's actual data proof of how terrible Twitter is. Maybe not as a platform, but as like people who, you know, like have their voice yelling above all the rest of the crowd that are actually like just legitimately terrible people.
That's why I was like, you could laugh at it knowing that people like intentionally made it worse. Although like I said, it probably was pretty bad on its own. It just was like,
I don't think people had to try too hard. Quite frankly.
But like even I would want to contribute to making that bot just be so funny, so funnily bad. Because I don't know, just knowing like Microsoft was like, here's this bot. Oh, you guys flipped the car over and burned it. Like that's not
like the robot, like the little robot that they sent to like it traveled like the whole world, and then when it went
the hitchhiking one, yes,
went to America, it got beat up.
So there was a hitchhiking robot a few years back where some guy put like a GPS locator and I think it was a Raspberry Pi or something. Basically, like he wanted to see how good humanity could be toward like a robot thing. So it was a hitchhiking robot that basically like anybody could just pick it up and drive with it in their car. Like I think it was going from New York to like California-ish. I don't remember the exact details. But then someone in Philadelphia, when it got to Philadelphia, was like, this is stupid. And he just like kicked it and like basically destroyed it. And the guy who invented that robot basically said he's not going to do anything. He's not going to like press charges or do anything bad against that guy, because like that guy probably feels bad for just having done it. But at the same time, he knew going into building the robot that was probably going to happen, and it was just like proof to him of how terrible humanity really is. And like there was one fledgling bit of hope that it would not be, but you know, like why did you do humanity? Why are you such terrible people, humanity? Also, that was really morbid, and I'm sorry.
Well, it's a good thing we're watching this movie about
movie.
There's a movie going on, the podcast. Yeah, it's about this movie about this lady who goes in. Hey, is that Harry Potter lady?
She is.
Wow.
It is Harry Potter lady.
She looks just as old now as she did in Harry Potter.
It's like the reverse Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Or no, not Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp. Who's the guy who like looks the same age forever?
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
She's like the reverse Keanu or inverted Keanu Reeves, I guess.
She's permanently old.
Severe Unek? Reverse Keanu Reeves?
Is that Keanu Reeves backwards?
I tried to pronounce it backwards. I have no idea if that's the correct way to do it.
My name backward is Yanafit.
Thank you for that interesting bit of knowledge.
Does no one else know their name backwards by heart?
I mean, mine's Retep, so it's not, all that difficult. Because, almost palindromic name, yay. Almost palindromic.
How is it? Oh, I see.
I was this close, as I
Jared,
say,
what's
making
your name
fingers
backwards?
a few inches from each other.
Jared, what's your name backwards?
Yes,
Charged.
Aranya, Pierre Totem Locomotor. I always wanted to cast that spell. I love that scene.
A disguise is necessary to protect us all.
What?
Daraj.
Durad.
Close the garage door.
Park your car in the garage.
Uh-oh, you're dead.
I'm dying. I'm dead.
It's okay.
Bye.
You're at a convent. You have nuns to do the funeral for you. It's fine.
Oh, good. Whoopi Goldberg would never let me down. Aranya's name backward is Ainara, and Fava's name backward is Avaf. I'm dying.
Please don't die.
It's okay.
I ask that as a personal favor. Please don't die.
Personal favor.
I would like you to welcome a new
So, what do you know about this movie? You said that. Well, Jared, you said that you
Mary Clara.
Is this your first time watching this movie, Jared?
part of it.
Pretty much. I mean, like, I kind
Okay.
of know a little bit about it, but
Eager to embrace a more
what I know about it. So, I mean, like what we've seen for sure. I totally forgot about this and like how it starts, but it's like, oh, that's right. I did know this, but if you asked me earlier, I wouldn't have been able to remember. She saw like a mob boss guy, and now she's in witness protection, but she's like totally doesn't belong here at all. She's like a bad girl. And then,
Yeah,
but
if there's
she's-
someone that doesn't belong in a convent at
is
this
her.
point, it's her
She's
character.
like, yeah, the worst person in terms of like how a nun would perceive a person. But this is her.
On a scale of 1 to 10 on the nun meter,
Yeah,
how
like-
good is she?
Oh, just
On
like
a scale
one.
of 1 to none. Because
So-
none is also a valid number if you... Never mind. It's also a valid Python reference, but...
And then,
That's-
so now she's in this, but she's gonna end up loving it 'cause she's a singer, and she's gonna like sing a lot, and she's gonna be like, "We're gonna sing my way," and then all the other nuns go to hell because she led them astray.
I don't remember that part of the story, but I'll take your word for it.
I mean, it's just the way it would work. She's a wolf in
Do
sheep's
nuns have a
clothing,
singing
like
quota
in the
in order
most
to get
like
into heaven?
no, but she's a wolf in sheep's clothing in like the most literal way. Why would
This
this
is-
be the
This is basically the plot to Magic Mike.
Magic Mike becomes a nun? Or I guess he would be like a priest.
Magic Michelle's?
Then where do you think the magic comes from?
I don't know.
In Magic Mike? I thought it came from Mike. Isn't that how that works?
Because he does all these like priestly things, and then he's a
Well, that's
magician.
not
also.
magic.
But you know, like it's perceived as magic.
No.
What are you people, a critic and all this stuff is terrible.
Anyways, but in Magic Mike, he doesn't want to be a stripper anymore.
Well, why?
And so he has to go into witness protection.
Lips are silent, may I press?
So he leads all his stripper friends astray from the stripper life.
Silence begins now.
This is basically also Harry Potter. She's still
What?
just the professor, like blah 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 blah. What are they eating? Is it beans?
I think
None
it's beans and rice or
Or
something.
is it like-
or
it looks like-
porridge or...
It looks like Sloppy Joe, like the Sloppy Joe stuff, and then they have bread on the table, and it's like, well, if you want to, you could make your own Sloppy Joes. If not, you could just eat it.
It's imaginary food. You know that scene in Hook where where they don't have anything to eat, but they imagine it. That's what they imagine.
Oh yes.
You're doing it. You're doing it. You're imagining. And then they have all like the weird multicolored rainbow paint food and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
That's a really
it
cool
looked
scene,
like
by the way.
sherbet.
Really cool scene. Yeah.
Just look like sherbet.
I don't. So they're working.
This
So-
movie has a lot of...
I mean, witness protection doesn't seem worth it if you have to like completely day to day do something like a different life. Like this is
well,
like
it's hiding in plain sight, right? You want to make every aspect of who you are change so
Yeah, but
that
this
no
is
one
like-
can detect any aspect of who you were, right?
she has
So
no
it's like-
interest in being a nun, and it's like, well, do this entirely different. That's not living. You might as well be like you're doing. I don't know, man.
Well, it may not be living, but it's surviving. And if the only option is this mob boss is going to kill you if he finds you, I would rather personally not do the whole getting killed thing.
I would take my chances. I would take my chances than work in a garden.
Anything but the garden.
That's what I was gonna say. Dang it. I forgot.
I love how his lawyers have to like drag him away from giving anything away to the cop.
Give anything.
Like he was, well, because I guess the cop guy was trying to get the mob boss to like threaten him even lightly, because then he could get him away for that.
Oh, I see.
But then his lawyer's like, no, don't. What are you doing? Stop! Shut up. But it's okay.
So is this movie more about the nuns, or is it about the...
I think it's more about like the nuns and the whole prospect of it being a musical and Whoopi Goldberg's character like teaching them to sing. But in order for that to happen, it has to have the backstory of like why is she even in a convent in the first place.
She teaches them like to like sing and have more fun, and then I think they make her a better person. And she actually is like, I think if I remember, she's like, oh, she actually starts to like it more. But here's my question though: do they know? This is what I was going to say. I do remember. Do they know that she's like witness protection? Do all the nuns know, or just like?
I don't.
Only the headmistress nun. Only the very top.
Why is that? Because I guess they could leak
McDonald?
it to the mob. Okay, I guess.
The less people that know who you are, the less potential there is for being leaked. Exactly.
My thing is just like, let me hide out here and let me play Game Boy all day, and then if anyone comes around, I'm a nut, you know. But I guess you're right, because all
if
it takes
anyone
is
comes around, I'm a nun. But
I'm a nun.
otherwise,
Don't
I'm
worry about
playing
it.
Game Boy.
I'll be up in my room playing Game Boy. Because I'm like, it sucks that you have to do all the nuns. Because that's the thing. As far as anyone's concerned, she has to do all the nun stuff, even though she has no interest in it. That's what I'm saying. Seems like
because
crap.
then
Like,
someone could, if she doesn't, someone could easily say, "Hey, that's not being a nun. She's in disguise."
but no one would know I'm there besides the other nuns. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, anytime anyone saw me, I'd be doing the nun stuff. But my thing is, I would just hide from any person, anyone beyond the inner circle. I guess that would suck too, because you have no friends. You have like a bunch of nuns to hang out with all the time. No one else. Yeah, I don't know. All of this seems real boring to me.
I mean,
What if nuns can have fun?
No. Nuns just want to have fun. Nuns. No.
they'll be having none of that.
None of that.
You really got Jared.
That was really
Oh, man.
funny. That was like the funniest joke on the podcast episode that we've ever had.
That's not possible.
believe it.
I have zero sense of humor, but I appreciate the compliment.
You know, isn't this also... This is like reverse Nacho Libre.
Yeah, pretty much.
Erbil Oken?
What?
Erbil Oken? ERBLI.
I don't know what you're saying.
I'm trying to reverse Nacho Libre the words in my brain.
That
and then
bit is
pronounce
over.
it.
That bit is over. There's no more.
Oh, sad.
We've moved on since then.
What, you mean my humor only lasts for 3 seconds? Okay.
You gotta be quick and then move on.
Yeah, see, this is the
As
thing.
with
She has to
anything.
get up at 5 a.m. I'd be like, I'm not an actual nun. Just like, leave me alone. And then when I wake up, then I'll
Let me
just
stay
like...
locked in my cell all day. I would be totally okay with that if I were in that position. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in that position being in witness protection in the first place. But at the same time, if I were, it's like just leave me locked in my cell all day. Like if I don't interact with anyone, I think that's a pretty cool day.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, as far as anyone's concerned, I'm a nun, but otherwise, like, no one will ever see me. I'm just going to stay in this room
Exactly.
and run, like, internet scams.
I was gonna say, like, do you think any nuns are Twitch streamers?
I would say there's some kind of restriction against that, just for some
But what
reason.
would it be? Like, why would it be, like, not great?
I have
I don't
a
know.
hunch that very few of those nuns understand any.
Let me get my encoder settings right so I could stream the
Technical-
daily meditation.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's
shoot,
not
I got a
because they're
fiber
old. A
optic
lot of them are
line
not
run
old,
to
but,
my
like-
56,000K gaming GTX router.
You just used like 5 different. Oh, I see what the. Oh, I understand your humor. Excellent.
Yeah, it's meaningless.
Nuns will know.
Nuns get it. Our favorite, all of our listeners are nuns.
Even the priest is grimacing. That's how bad their choir.
Okay, they sing bad.
I shouldn't say their choir is bad because you shouldn't say bad things about nuns. So I will say that their choir has significant room for improvement. There you go.
Why are nuns? Why don't they get to like? Why can't you make fun of a nun?
Like I don't know, just yeah. No, not
I don't know.
that. But like kind of that.
You think that they could sing all day? All they're doing is like singing. They'd be like pretty dang good at it.
Well, quite the opposite, don't you? You saw the headmistress like all day. They were just silent and not saying anything and kind of just praying on their own.
They're
and all
not used to talking, so singing is a whole nother thing to get.
Oh, so it's one of those like they took an oath to like never speak, and then Whoopi Goldberg came, and they're like, I guess we all have to talk now.
There's one. She gets to talk. Well, I get to talk too. Then if she's gonna talk, I want to talk.
You're not even gonna tell us. I wouldn't even tell the Pope.
So
Great choice of phrasing, by the way.
this only makes me want to watch Nacho Libre, to be honest.
It's pretty good choice there for a movie night.
It is a good film. Yeah.
Complicated for me.
Don't you worry, you'll get the hang of it. I'll help.
Thank you.
Like, okay, so reimagine this entire movie. Okay, hold on. Let me propose this. Let me pitch this idea to you. She got in the mix with the mob, and she's actually in jail, but she's imagining everyone as a nun.
Like the psycho medication they have her on is making her hallucinate all of this.
Yeah, they're actually in jail right now.
So like all of the other nuns are actual inmates that she's just perceiving as nuns. That's an interesting take. Actually, I think that's my new headcanon because that makes this movie about 20 times better.
Yeah,
So thank you for that, Tiffany. Thank you for that.
She's just in jail. They're doing. Don't they do like arts and crafts in jail, right?
Yeah, they have like arts and crafts and library and exercise and stuff.
Yeah, so that's where they're at right now in this scene. They're doing arts and crafts in jail.
Vanity. A progressive convent? Sounds awful. I like my convent.
So who is who?
Out in the woods.
I think Jared is Whoopi
That's
Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, among us, you mean?
I do like that. Like, which one of these old white women is Whoopi Goldberg? Oh,
Who's gonna tell him?
is that her? Can't be her.
The call. I didn't know it.
I think Jared is Whoopi Goldberg.
Why am I Whoopi Goldberg?
I got the call.
I want to be.
Because I think you would react to things the same way as her.
Yeah. I don't know
In
what that means.
comparison-
I don't know how she's
comparison
reacting
to
in any way.
everyone.
Are you sure? Okay. How about this? Who's this lady? The one that's talking right now. She seems familiar. She's
Whoopi Goldberg.
No, before that.
Let me see.
I don't know,
She's
but
a
she is
comedian.
also in Sister Act 2.
Well, that's also
as is
Whoopi.
her.
That's Harry Potter Whoopi Goldberg.
How come Whoopi Goldberg isn't in Harry Potter?
Oh man, maybe she is. But you don't notice her because of magic.
Yeah. She's a cat 100% of the time.
Yeah.
She was always in her animagus form.
Let's see.
Okay, let me pitch this other idea to you. All the nuns are Whoopi Goldberg. They're different forms of Whoopi Goldberg, and they'll eventually combine into one super Whoopi Goldberg.
And that will defeat the monster known as the Mobster.
Yeah.
Okay, that lady is Kathy Najimai? I think, I don't know. Out of Whoopi Goldberg, Kathy, and Harry Potter lady, McDonald's coffee at home.
Whoopi Goldberg is definitely McDonald's.
Yes. Oh, Kathy Jemai of King of the Hill. Oh, who's she on
Are you
King of the
serious,
Hill?
Chris?
Who's she on King of the Hill?
I don't know. I
That
haven't
does
seen
sound
King of the
familiar
Hill
now.
forever.
Wow, I can't. Wow, she has a lot of credits. Holy crap.
Wait, is she the youngest one? Oh, no, she's like the bigger one, right?
Yeah.
She's Peggy.
Oh, okay. That totally makes a lot more sense now. That's why, man, she has a ton of credits, though. Just scrolling down is like takes forever. That's funny. Yeah, Peggy Hill voice. She's only credited for 1 year. What the heck? That doesn't make any sense.
That's weird.
Yeah, you know how normally it says like season 1, season 2, season 3. It just says King of the Hill 2000. Oh, video game. What? What
King of the Hill video game?
What King of the Hill video game? Okay, hold on. Gotta research this now.
Wait, and like, why haven't I played it?
Yeah, where is this? There's like, oh, was it canceled?
Oh, what?
Hold on.
Man, we're taking a deep dive.
Yeah, this is a big detour here. King of the Hill video game. I need to know.
Welcome to episode 73 of Buffer Buddies.
77.
Episode entirely 77. Thank you. I apologize.
Don't even listen to the podcast.
I speak into the podcast and then I just don't listen to myself because I don't like hearing myself speak. It's really weird.
Yeah,
So
you're supposed to listen to episodes you're not on. You're supposed to listen to episodes that you're not on. That's all.
Which are most of them, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah. You should have listened to most of the episodes. Go ahead with your thing because I'm reading this now.
I was going to say it's a movie night podcast where we talk about King of the Hill. That's all. It was going to be like a 3-second joke because I'm good at 3-second jokes.
Great.
That's about all.
I mean, I don't know what a long joke would be. I don't know, aren't all jokes like pretty like? And then I did it. Everyone laughs. So King of the Hill video game was released on November 13th, 2000 for PC and Macintosh, which no one told me this. Ratings were typically low with nothing to do. There's mini games.
There's nothing to do. Dude, can you imagine a King of the Hill MMO?
Dude, like, they've tried so many of those back when MMOs were hot, and they always fell flat because they lacked depth. But, I mean, I always loved the attempts of, like, those stupid games. Like, it's a Family Guy MMO. Like, I don't think that was a thing, but there's stuff just like it. And you'd be like, but why would I invest my time on this one, like, stupid, like, thing? And you're like, I don't know, give us money. And then they didn't work, and it was great.
But, like, you can choose a different... I guess you would just go to Texas. A King of the Hill MMO is just flying to Texas.
Pretty much. I'm going to move to Texas and play the King of the Hill MMO. Dude, that would be great if you like went to Texas and then you're like, hello, shopkeep. I would like to upgrade my items. And everyone's like, what's wrong with this guy? Like, he thinks he's in a video game. He thinks this is Westworld, but for King of the Hill. Do you have any quests for me?
Mithril accessories, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Does that sound like a terrible thing?
And then you have to like, that's my purse. I don't know you.
And then you're like, aha, okay, I said it. You have to give it back.
I'm so
You have to give it back now. I said the thing. That was a real guy. He really stole my purse.
And then the sad Charlie Brown music
Yeah.
and the walking away.
Ding, dun, dun.
burst.
And then you get shot. And you're like,
Are you
this
going to do
isn't
the
fun.
thing also where all the adults speak in as trumpets so like no one can
Womp,
actually
womp.
hear any dialogue?
Whamp, whamp,
Yep.
womp, womp, womp.
I've never heard of it as trumpets before. That's
I
interesting.
always have. 'Cause that's literally what it was, though.
I
The
always just thought
trumpets
it was like,
with like that little, like, it looks like an ice cream.
trombones, maybe? I'm not sure. I never
Either
really
way,
learned the difference.
those are
I apologize.
essentially the same thing. One just has a
They're
sliding.
very, very similar instruments, yeah.
But one
But
just
I
has
don't
a
really know,
sliding
like,
dealy.
there's a specific, yeah.
Oh,
Right, trombones have like the, the
Yeah, yeah.
slidey thing, and trombones are just like you press the buttons at the top.
Trumpets are easy trombones. They're easy mode trombones.
well, Band Geek Aranya is now going to school us on the difference.
I think no, because it's like you're like, ooh, I can't figure out where the notes are on this trombone. Oh, well, press these buttons instead. Oh, this is so much easier.
Well, I mean, it's like any other kind of. You have a lot of other like piano instruments.
Yeah,
and
like
accordions,
violin is
obviously-
like freaking insanely hard because it doesn't have frets, and then you have easy violin, which is a guitar.
Easy violin, which is a guitar.
Well, also guitar, you're not vibrating the string on the fretboard. You're vibrating the string with like plucking it. Versus violin, you're just activating the string with the bow thing, and
But
then you're
that's-
actually vibrating it on the fret with your other hand. Like your other hand.
No. You only vibrate with your hand on the fretboard for vibrato, which you can't do with the guitar because of the fretboard.
You can tap it for vibrato. You can tap strings on a guitar.
No, but I mean simply because usually what creates a note is those little niblets on the fretboard, which you're just pressing the string into that. So you're right. You actually can't do vibrato on guitar. It's just a lot harder because you have to move the string so much further.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's not as effective. That's why you see violinists moving their hands so much though for the pitch note change is like you could get a lot more out of it without moving your hands so far because it's a real pain on the guitar. But that's the only reason you're doing it. You're still vibrating the string. It's just an active vibration via the friction between the bow and the rosin and the strings versus you pluck it and it vibrates and it fades away. But violins give you the consistent noise because of that.
Here, let me Google instruments and then say a bunch of words to sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Hey, I played most of these instruments we're talking about besides trombone and easy trombone. I never played those.
I have not, is what I'm saying. I also want to be a part of this conversation.
Hello, fellow podcast co-host Tiffany.
Hello. I tried to play violin when I was little, and then I didn't like it because my sister made fun of me, and then so I never tried. And then I played piano for a little bit.
Piano is a very neat instrument. It's very tidy. It's very. You press the thing, it does the note.
Yeah.
Press it harder, it makes it louder.
I like the piano the most because it didn't rely on.
That is way oversimplifying it, but that's kind of how it is.
I like the piano the most because it didn't rely on you like being good at the physical instrument of it. It offloaded the difficulty to like good luck pressing all the right keys, and then you're like, oh, this is like DDR but for my hands. Versus guitar and violin are like, this hurts my fingers and I don't want to play anymore today. And it's like, okay, bye. You're like, you could be doing more, but it hurts and it's hard and it sound bad. Like this is all the skill is like it raises this entry level. Like, you know, if you could download the muscle memory, you could play the piano perfectly, but you couldn't do that for like a violin and guitar. Your fingers would still hurt. You still need the strength of the fingers.
With guitar, I know my brother's a big guitar player, and he's told me a few things. And one of them is like when you first learn to play, you basically have to give yourself calluses on your fingers so that you can play the strings.
It takes forever. Yeah. It takes like 2 weeks.
The whole way you can play guitar correctly is to intentionally injure and scar your finger tissue. Like, what is going on there? Why even do that in the first place?
Yeah.
Just like you can just get a pick like a plastic little thing and pick it that. I mean, it doesn't sound quite as full, but like at least you're not hurting your hands.
You need the calluses on the fingers that hold the strings down, not the picking hand. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, in order to play it good, you need to get good at pressing the strings, not even like pressing the right notes. And that's why I hate it. It's like you have this precursor to the skill, which is annoying. Not saying that it's a bad instrument. I'm just saying I like piano more because everyone starting out has a level playing field. It's like press the keys down and you're like, okay, I could do that. And it sounds the same. And it's like, okay, now just do them right. Like do the right order. And that's all it is. It's like, you're just purely doing music. There's no other physical, there's a thing to playing guitar good. And then there's playing guitar right, you know, and you still have to get good in order to play it right. But piano, it's just do the right notes in the right order.
There is technique with piano, like you can't just like push finger onto button and press the button. Like there's actual.
But it would sound the same, though. Is what I'm saying.
How you have to shape your hands, and like what your posture has to be, and like your entire body has to be part of playing the piano if you're doing it properly.
Those.
But you can do it reasonably well.
Yeah, well, I mean, posture, all that stuff. All that stuff has to do with like physical comfort over long periods of time. You could jam your fingers on it in any way. It's going to sound the same. You're just not going to want to play it for like an hour or two or weeks or years because then eventually your back is going to be all destroyed and like your fingers are going to be all in pain because you have arthritis. So I think it's like more about like getting optimal speed and comfort out of it. But like you could just slam your hand on it and it'll sound exactly the same. And that's my point. You could play just as good as someone else without technique. You're just not going to be optimal.
No, well, I disagree there pretty vehemently. Someone playing the same song without technique versus someone playing the same song with technique.
They could be good. They could be. You could have
the same level of talent otherwise, like exact perfect timing, exact perfect dynamics, volume, etc. But like the person with technique theirs will sound more fluid.
I think I know what
Like,
I know what Jared is saying though. Because if you press like a C note on a piano and I press a C note on the piano, it's gonna be the same. But if you try to like strum something on a guitar, I can't do that.
Yeah, also because my thing is I've seen people with like no hands play the piano better than me. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like, how can you say form is everything when there's people who have like physical disabilities and still...
Form is not everything. Form is a significant part of it.
But this person is playing better than like... That's my point though, is like you could get good at having bad form and still just be as good. But like the guitar... If you can't,
well, it's the same thing with it's the same thing with like typing on a computer. Like know the standard like QWERTY home row stuff is what everybody learns on.
And I don't. And I don't.
I have no
like
idea what my hands do.
Right.
All I know is that I can type 100 words a minute with very good accuracy.
That's
I have
my
no
point.
idea
You
what
just
fingers
proved my
go where
point.
or something, but like my fingers do the thing, and all of a sudden there's words on screen. So
you just proved my point. That was the argument I was making. Thank you. Thank you for fighting against yourself.
I'm glad I was able to argue against myself and prove myself
I should just let you go and eventually
that's how all of my rants end up being. I apologize.
Were you like on the debate team and the other team was like, yeah, Peter's going, and like team 1, you're like, no comment. All right, Peter, and you're like, well, anyways, and then you're like, team 1 wins. Damn it, every time I go up there they say nothing and they lose. This isn't fair.
No, I think that's why I stayed away from the whole speech and debate thing. Is because I also hate just public speaking in general.
Oh yeah.
That's.
But jokes on you. This is a podcast. It goes out on the internet to the public. The rest of the
this is what I call podcasting.
Do you think that's like every podcaster has made that joke? Like every comedy podcast is like, you like?
No, I'm the first one.
It like Star Wars podcasting. This is it. Oh, I messed it up. Oh.
I apologize. I do that a lot to humor.
I'm the first one.
I was trying to be funny by like being shocked and surprised and then just disconnecting.
Oh, did you do that?
I did, and then I was gone for like I think 7 or 8 seconds.
I didn't realize the disconnection part. I just kept talking. Also, I'm intentionally ignoring Aranya's photos in the chat because I don't believe any of that.
They're naughty photos.
Yeah,
just kidding.
It's long trumpet and trumpet with buttons.
Wow, Jared. Wow. I have nothing to say about.
I mean, here's the thing: they're all long tubes that you blow air through. In the end of the day, that's all it is. I guess
that's one way of saying it. But you've just described the entirety of like every brass instrument ever.
Yeah, all you're doing is going, and it's just really loud. It's just really loud, and you're hitting buttons.
Jesse in the chat says humanity is just a tube, and in a medical sense that's actually not that far from the truth because you're kind of just a tube from your mouth to your
but it's also like these like intermittent disconnected tubes because it's like one thing is like you're drinking water and then you have a kid and then they're also drinking water, and so like that's like a tube temporally though.
Wait,
time.
You lost me.
So you drink water, right? And then it comes out and it goes back into like the ocean. And then
are you turning the water cycle into a wormhole?
Yeah, it's like, and then eventually your kid drinks water, and that was the water that you just put back into the ocean. So it's traveling through you back into the gigantic tube of the ocean, and then into another human, and then back out as a tube, and then it goes for the rest of the time so if you trace your tube back, like if you're like, oh, what's upstream, it's like Galileo, and then before
Jared,
that was like is some other comedian, and then before that was a dinosaur.
Jared, as much as I forget who said it, might want you to believe the ocean is not a series of tubes.
Well, it's not a series of tubes, it's just one gigantic one if you think about it. What is a tube? What is a tube anyways?
I mean, is it something that's just homotopic to a Guinness 2 or Guinness 1 surface?
Whoa! What'd you call me?
Are we talking about like mathematically what is a tube, or like no? Because that would be more of a donut.
Yeah, it would be more like it. I mean, a tube is something that carries water. That's the definition of a tube.
A tube is something that carries water.
If it doesn't carry
So
water,
then
it's
the
not
instruments
a
being,
tube.
and by your definition, then the instruments are big, long brass tubes that you blow air through. So they're big, long things that carry water that you blow air through. So what
Right.
happens when the air and water mixes? Does that create the sound? Is that the source of all sound in the
You
universe?
have a
Is air and water
button.
mixing?
Yeah, you have a button that releases the water in that tube.
I see.
So the air goes out one way and the water goes the other direction.
What is happening?
Tube talk. Welcome to my podcast, Tube Talk.
Thanks for listening to my tube talk.
We're gonna have a con where you can come up on stage and talk about tubes.
And this is going to be called Tubecast, and we'll call that TubeCastCon.
Upload all your videos
Tube talk.
You too can TubeCastCon.
YouTube's already a thing. What the heck, YouTube? That was mine. Your tube. I'm just gonna call it tube.
Tube.
Tube. This part of the movie is dumb because they're singing. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you could sing." What?
Well, they're doing the whole like split into parts and organize people, and
Then they weren't a choir before then. That's
no.
That's literally the
As
definition.
someone who was in choir for several years, this is an actual thing where, like, even if it's exactly the same people doing the same voices, just moving them around so that different voices are near other voices, like the timbres of the voices mix differently, and so it can smoothen things out, even if the voices themselves don't individually improve.
Because I just feel like that's like to me, like there's probably a formal definition of a choir, and if you're not like at least doing the basic of that, you're just a group of people singing. Like when does a group of people sing?
Congrats, you found the formal definition of a choir.
Okay, so wait, a group of people singing is a choir?
Loosely, yeah.
Well, then whatever. Then they're stupid. Then I don't know what to say to that.
Wow.
Because I feel
Jared.
like if you're like a bunch of nuns singing, you would at least have the basic like knowledge of like, well, you move the people around and it sounds better.
okay.
Like it's insane to me that they're like, I don't know, we just grab these books and speak out of our mouths real loud. Like have no idea of how like music works.
And
And then do that for years. And be like, I wish someone would teach us how to sing.
I mean, okay, yeah, that's what she's doing. But the formal definition of choir is it is just a group of people that sing, but it's usually used more to mean a group of people that sing in public or for some sort of service.
All right. So it doesn't. So like skill or like literally anything about the physical nature of the singing has no meaning to the thing.
Pretty much.
Interesting. Wow, my Discord's all weird. All the icons are squares. That's fun.
Oh no.
All the server icons look like crap now because everyone has round icons and like, oh, this one's round. Oh, some of them are round. What the hell?
Oh, I just noticed some of them. Oh, yeah, they're doing the thing where, like, if I hover over them, they become the squares, and then if I let them go, they're normally round.
No. That's supposed to. That's supposed to be like that. Mine are like a lot of them are like just stuck as like the full square image that's uploaded. It's really funny.
Oh, instead of compressing or like contracting down.
Yeah, there's no hover animation. It's just the image without like the CSS circle.
Oh, that's weird.
So it looks really funny. Yeah, because I use what's called Rambox. But I've been having a lot of issues with it lately with Discord. Like there's like 3 servers that won't load the image.
Rambox?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like it's a Electron app, but it has tabs essentially, and it's like basically like a focused Chrome browser that's like just each tab is a fixed web page, and so I have Discord as one.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, because I use it instead of like an email client. Like I just use Gmail now. This is my email client, my chat client, my Twitter. And I just have it. And I have all my things I check every day. Is this good podcasting?
This is pretty good podcasting.
I don't know if this is interesting to anyone. I have no interest in this movie. I don't.
But now this is the part where it gets interesting because now they're singing good.
Yeah, but I feel like this is all just going to get us flagged like over and over and over on YouTube. And I have to go and fight with like Fox about it. I'm like, actually, under the fair use law, we're not there. And then
technically, we are allowed to reproduce significant portions of this at lower quality if we are critiquing it or
we are.
In which case, our podcast is doing that.
We do. I just have to keep filing claims to fight against them, and it takes them like a week to respond to them. So it's a little annoying. I'm like, no, you guys, we weren't just uploading your movie. We talk over it. And then I think it's 100% up to like Fox or like, whoever owns the movie to actually like release their claim, which so far they have been nice enough to do that. But I think if someone was like, no, like we would just be screwed. So,
well, what they can do is like, if your video does get monetized, for example, they can basically put the copyright claim where your video will stay up. It's just all the monetization
that's what happens,
profits
though.
will go to them.
But
so
that's not right though, because we are under fair use. But I'm saying that's what happens. We'll upload a podcast, and they'll get flagged because of the audio in them, and because it detects the movie audio in there. So then all the money that we would generate, which we don't have enough subscribers for, would go to them. But that's under copyright law. We are within fair use to collect all that money ourselves. That's what I'm saying. So I have to file a claim saying that this is fair use, which it is, also backed up by the H3H3 lawsuit a few whatever back ago.
Yeah.
So we're under the normal fair use law, but also that sets a precedent that like I could use that if anything ever came to like a court of law or whatever. But it's annoying that I have to do that because this audio in the background keeps getting picked up. But we're totally within fair use because we are talking over and critiquing it for the most part.
Absolutely.
And it's also not the focus
like
of.
Someone can listen to this in lieu of listening to the actual movie because we're covering so much of it.
There is like a kind of a gray area too, because there's also like if you're critiquing or it's not the main focus of the content. So like there's that not the main focus of the content kind of increases like this weird gray area, but it's totally not, because again I try to turn it down. I try to keep it as low as possible. It's only there just to add some.
reference it.
We never reference it. It's not the main focus of the audio. I'm not like, let's listen. Yeah. And then there's also, I think I'm not a lawyer. Gotta definitely double check on this. You could still like technically use like copyrighted music if it's under like certain amount of time. Like I think like 10 seconds, because that's like an unusable. 7
seconds or something.
Yeah, it's something like that. You could be like, I want to play this song. That was neat. And like, as long as it's, I don't know 100% the time length or whatever, but I'm sure at some point something is so short that it can't be like, you stole that. Well, I stole 2 seconds of it. What is anyone going to do with that? So I don't know.
I think that's also the same legal law that a lot of DJs get protected under too.
It's also, I think
you can take like a few seconds of this song, a few seconds of that song,
samples,
mix them all together, sample it in weird ways. All of a sudden, you have a 3-minute song.
It's also there's also just kind of like this universal like agreement that like they don't call each other on it to a certain degree with stuff like that. Like remixes actually are like, a lot of them would technically be like enforceable by copyright, but like no DJ wants to be the one that's like, you can't use my music, because then everyone hates you. And it's kind of the same thing like how the internet just kind of works right now. Like any meme or like GIF or whatever of like The Simpsons, you're not allowed to use that. Just no one's just gonna go out of their way to enforce that, because then it just makes you like destroying this thing. But it's just like there's a kind of a universal like what do you mean?
You're not allowed to use Simpsons GIFs on the internet? Like
you're not the content creator of that. No, you don't. That's copyrighted.
So like
I would imagine.
So basically, like all of the standard GIFs and memes that we see are like no one technically legal.
I would imagine. I'm pretty sure they're not, because they're all enforceable by DMCA. Like if they wanted to, if Fox was like, no, DMCA, they could do that, but that'd be like impossible, the amount of work to go through that. 2, everyone would just like the public backlash would be for like, and there's no benefit to them to enforcing that. It only benefits them. So a lot of it is just like people, it's just like no one enforces that like part of it, because it's right now it's an opt-in system. So copyright holders would have to go out of the way and be like, you can't use that. I think they legally can if they wanted to, they just don't. And it's same thing with Twitch too. You're technically not allowed to stream video games. Just that most major studios have a clause saying that they allow it. But if they didn't want you to, you can't stream that game. All they have to do is go, you're not allowed to stream this game, and you're not.
Well, yeah, and then they would literally lose like 90% of their business because they have people.
Exactly. And Nintendo does that. Nintendo literally does that. That's what the Nintendo like content creator thing was, and it was like a weird thing because technically to stream like Zelda or like Mario Odyssey, you're supposed to join Nintendo's like streamer thing. Otherwise, they will like they'll flag your YouTube videos and collect all the money like we were talking about. But if you're in their thing, then you're like allowed to do it, and then I think they have some kind of revenue split with you. But there was a thing where like people who were not in this thing were streaming this game anyways and then getting all the views. But if you were a Nintendo approved streamer, they're like, you're not allowed to stream this game, period, yet. Like right now you cannot stream it, but everyone else is. But all they were losing out on. So it was like this really weird thing where it was like, it was almost worse to become an approved streamer. It was really wonky. And there's some other games. There was a game I heard of that you could only stream up to a certain point and then you had to stop. I think it was a Kojima game, which I thought was a really interesting. So there was an embargo on a certain part of the game. And I think if you streamed on PS4, it would stop it for you. It would use the HT content protection thing to not allow you to stream if you're streaming directly off of the console.
It's enough to get people hooked on the game if they're watching you play it, but at the same time, like they can't experience the full thing by just watching.
Exactly, because it was like a big twist thing. And so like if you watched it on a stream, then you would have like no reason to play it. So that's kind of interesting. So again, all this stuff is just kind of like the way the internet kind of works is most businesses, companies kind of like that just kind of don't enforce a lot of it because it's mutually beneficial. But you could actually look it up where you could go like, you could actually find on a major publishers like, can I stream this game? Like, yes, you're allowed to stream all of our games, and that's legal right. They're just giving it to you. But if if any company was like, you could stream all of our games except for this one, then then you could get DC made like off of YouTube and Twitch and all that stuff.
Because there are several video games that like I play and I enjoy and I've bought. That if I had not seen a streamer play it, I would not have even known it existed.
That's specifically why they have that in their clause. But technically speaking, if they don't say that, you're technically breaking copyright. If there's nothing that says that you can, you're technically stealing someone else's content. But again, like if someone came out and like, you can't stream my game, then everyone would just hate you. So like, why would you? Like, so it's just like an interesting ecosystem we've developed here. And it's the same thing. Like, why would the Simpsons want their funny GIFs taken down? It just makes the show more popular and relevant.
Yeah, it keeps it in the pop culture, in the zeitgeist of the regular.
But unless it's written out there, that's someone else's work, property of Fox, and you are now stealing it and uploading it onto your own personal thing.
Or if you're adding text and putting stuff on it, you're modifying it and then distributing it. Even
which
further.
is still it's like worse.
You're creating a derivative work basically of what they did. Yeah, that's even worse than just blatantly copying it.
Yeah, so that's all. I don't know why we're talking about this. I forgot what brought us up, but I just always think it's an interesting thing.
These are just such interesting tangents you take on sometimes, Jared, and I'm really fascinated. So please keep doing that. That's
why we have a Twitch stream where we go on these interesting tangents too sometimes. Twitch.tv/UpDownLeftDie, listeners.
Anyways, how much?
Anyways,
that doesn't matter, Denny. Oh no, her face is now on the TV and she's in witness protection.
Oh no.
Oh, now he's going to kill her. He's the bad guy.
The whole time. He's the bad guy this whole time. How much would it take for you to go into non-witness protection?
How about some witness protection?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Thank you, Jared. I was thinking it, but it was your joke to say. Thank you so much.
Did you pay Peter to come and like
he's my hype man.
Compliments?
If I ever have like an
what's
improv,
happening here?
if I ever do another improv show, I'm gonna put Peter in the audience.
Yeah, like what's happening here?
No one's laughs. Ha ha! Just him in the back.
Everyone looks.
All of a sudden, I break out in laughter, and then I have shifty eyes. Like, what? Yeah. It was funny.
Wearing his like Jared is funny shirt.
Putting his $100 bill in his wallet. $100 bills.
That's too
much.
How much?
I don't know. It's too much.
I'll flip you one of those $1,000 like fake internet Twitter Jeopardy.
Oh, now
bills.
he's paying you,
right?
Hold on.
Yeah. How about this? You come to my improv show and I'll feed you with winning endless Jeopardy answers.
Done.
I have them all. Tiffany, you missed it though. I was in Nightmare Silence's stream and I was cleaning up on Quiplash. Everyone was on my side. I was like, how come?
I did miss it. I don't believe you.
I was like, how come her audience likes me more than our own audience? Everyone thought it was so funny.
It's not real.
The competition was low. There was only like 5 other people playing, but I was just like, I got like 2 Quiplashes, and I actually won one once because I always lose on the 3rd round of Quiplash. I'm really bad at that 3rd round, and that's worth the most points, and that's where I always lose. I'll be 1st place, 2nd place, whatever, and that just usually drops me because I'm not very good at those ones.
Quiplash is my favorite one.
Quiplash is good. Quiplash is really good. It was great because I was able to play while at work.
Oh,
nice.
Because you don't actually need to watch the stream. You can just have the browser open and you just click on.
Just follow the prompts.
Yeah, you don't actually need to see the stream as much. So I could listen to the stream and have the prompts open and just fill them out as I go. So that made it really fun.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Well, that's why on like Quiplash, people are like, oh, I ran out of time. I'm like, just look at your phone and just click the buttons.
Unless it's like they ran out of time because they had to think.
Yeah, but sometimes people are like, I need to know. I'm like, just try to type it in as fast as possible. I did, yeah, because it was like, you know what they do need to fix in that game though? When you don't answer and it just gives the other person a Quiplash. That's OP as hell. I lost.
You should tweet.
I lost the match because of that, and I was like, that wasn't like fair to anyone involved. Like, it was because
emphasize or enforce like everybody should participate, otherwise you're just gonna
it nuked the game like that. It gave the game to that person. Like there was like no way to win after that because I wasn't first. I stalled out and they Quiplashed because I didn't put an answer, and it just like that person went from like 3rd to 1st, and it was like, okay, game's over. It was like, it's too much. Yes, they
overbalancing.
Won. Yeah, because the thing is, it's even worse if you have more players because everyone's struggling. It's so hard to get a Quiplash, and then just because someone didn't answer, they get that Quiplash. So you have a full match of 8 people. It's so hard to get a Quiplash on, and then one person doesn't answer, so the opponent gets a Quiplash. That person just jumps ahead like at least one segment just because of that. Because you get bonus points for that. It's insane. It's completely overpowered for them to get a Quiplash because the other person answered. But also then. The problem is if you don't give them that, then they could deny you by like, I'm just not going to answer. And then it's impossible for you to get a Quiplash. So I don't know, but it just doesn't seem balanced. It's also super old game.
Let me pitch you this idea for this movie.
Okay.
It's the same movie, but all the songs they're singing are from like System of a Down.
Oh, I like that.
Why not?
Trying to think of I can't like sing. I'm trying to think of the System of a Down song.
I'm thinking of like of Chop Stewie when Nuns are singing about when angels deserve to die.
Chop Stewie.
I said Chop Suey. Did I say Chop Stewie? I apologize. But like when nuns are singing about when angels deserve to die, like that doesn't seem like a very nun sort of lyric.
The world, disorder. Now, somewhere within the sacred science,
Oh, sacredness. Yeah, that's okay. That's a good
now, where between sacred science and sleep, disorder.
Not done yet. We'll just wait till he finishes, I guess.
Yeah, we used to play that song a lot on Rock Band, and I was a guitarist. I wasn't a very good guitarist, but then we would mosh and it'd be so cool, dude.
And when he visits San Francisco next weekend,
Yeah?
Rock Band. There's a Rock Band club at Casa Fortin.
Wow, what?
So I messaged guys like, dude, I have an Xbox. Let us work together. So I want to stream it someday, but like, I don't have time for that.
At least your heart is in the right place, I guess.
I mean, I'll try to one day. I just think people are going to be like, I have 1,500 songs. Oh, yeah, do you have? Nope, none of the new ones, only the old ones. Sorry. Unless someone else has an Xbox.
What a selection.
Yeah, 1,500 songs from like 2010 and before.
It's the nostalgia machine.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It definitely is. It has all the classics from when you used to play it in high school. The thing is, if anyone else has an Xbox, then I could just steal their songs
all
off
of the good Weezer stuff too. The classic like Weezer, Green Day.
Yeah. I have all
Rocky.
Yep. All those. I have all the classics. So the classics. It's just like Rock Band's store kept going, and they have like new Lady Gaga and new whatever. Like, don't have any of that. I don't have anything like. There's a hard cutoff that like because I stopped maintaining that library at some point, and so like I definitely don't have anything past like 2011. Like because if it didn't exist in 2011, I 100% don't have it. But I have all the old stuff and some like good stuff from before that. It's all whatever. But yeah, I definitely have all the Weezer. I have a System of Downs. Yeah, I think I have the Green Days, the greenest days.
The greenest days of all.
Just throwing back to the movie at hand, I just want to make a quick comment. I really like the like almost accidental foreshadowing of when the cop guy was being asked at the start by other cop guys, like, man, he wouldn't even tell the Pope, and then all of a sudden that she's in the convent, the Pope is visiting.
Oh wow,
and it's like, that was a neat little foreshadowing.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
He is the Pope.
Yeah, we're critiquing the movie slightly, so we're okay legally.
I can't
I'm done.
Stop looking at this Jackie Chan gif in chat right next to the movie. It's every scene. I'm like, how would Jackie Chan respond to this? Like, it's every scene, like seeing if it lines up in any significant way. Like, oh, she just walked in. Jackie Chan's licking his lips. Like,
I don't
Jackie
like
Chan,
that.
she's a nun, Jackie Chan.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not exactly sure that Jackie Chan licking his lips at the image of nuns is a very appropriate thing.
But that's what he's doing right now.
I mean, I put in the GIF in that chat just because it was funny way to reply to all of that delicious looking food that Jesse had posted. But
I don't see the delicious looking food. I just see Jackie Chan.
That's because you have to scroll up.
But it's gone now.
Up.
It's just Jackie Chan, though.
It's just Jackie Chan.
Let me pitch you this idea, Jared.
Okay.
This entire movie, but instead of Whoopi Goldberg, it's Jackie Chan pretending that he's a nun.
I
He's in
love
witness
that.
protection.
I love that's really funny. Also, if this was made like way long ago, he would be in like blackface and it would not age well. There'd be a whole thing about that for sure.
That would be pretty bad.
Yeah. Could you imagine? No, yeah, I would love it because it'd be extra funny because he'd have to be like, "Hello, I'm a nun." He'd be all have to like pretend he's a nun. I can see it now. How funny!
And he'd also be faking a really good American woman accent.
Yeah, he would do it. He'd nail it.
So I'm sure he would. He has the talent for it.
They would get the voice actor from the Jackie Chan Adventures to do a voiceover for him for those scenes. And it'd be really good.
For the English version, but there's a Chinese version that gets released, and then it's Jackie Chan. But Jackie
you
Chan
realize
his
Jackie
own voice.
Chan was the voice actor for himself
No,
in
he
the
wasn't.
Jackie Chan Adventures.
No, he was
was
not.
not.
No way.
He wasn't? It sounded like him.
No.
It really sounded
Here's
like
the thing.
him
Here's
so
the thing.
much.
Here's the thing.
He showed up in
Yeah.
between like commercials and
And it
stuff,
was-
but it was not him.
It was jarring. It was.
Oh, that's
incredible.
what I'm thinking
Yeah.
of. Okay,
'Cause here's my
'cause I
thing,
remember
is,
there was bits of it of him doing the voice, but like it breaks into him actually being like a real person out of the cartoon.
He's like, don't
Don't
punch.
you dare try to mansplain Jackie Chan Adventures to me, okay?
He was like, it would be like, it would cut to commercial and it'd be like, Jackie Chan's like, don't punch your friends. And then it goes to commercial and it comes back. Because the thing was like, I remember watching Jackie Chan Adventures and like, oh, he's kind of hard to understand. Oh no, it grows on me. I understand him totally now. And it cuts to Jackie Chan. I'm like, whoa, his accent is way thicker than the character on the show. And it was so jarring to go between like the character on the show to real Jackie Chan because it was like way thicker. And it was just like, oh, I'm not ready for that. And then it goes back and it's like, oh, this guy sounds like an American in comparison to real Jackie Chan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Who was the voice
I
actor
could've
for that
sworn.
show? Was it a white guy? I bet it was a white guy. Watch.
Now I'm curious. Hold on.
Jackie Chan Adventures. I'm already on IMDb because I was looking at that lady.
Jackie Chan, voiced by James C., but himself as live action.
James C, JC, Jackie Chan, JC. Hold on.
He looks.
Wait a
He
minute.
looks like. He
I might
actually
be
looks.
mispronouncing his last name, his family name.
James,
S-I-E,
James, you
English,
see?
actually Chinese name.
You see,
probably.
James? You see, James?
Maybe Sie or She or something. I'm not sure. I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce Chinese even remotely well.
That's like, yeah, it's like Chi. I think, yeah, like QI is pronounced Chi.
Yeah.
Nah, how would I know that? How would I know that? It's impossible.
Because you're amazing?
He kind of looks like, well, I didn't know that because it was like the QI chargers, which is actually pronounced Chi charging.
Right.
It's QI. I didn't know. I was like, is it QI? Is it Ki?
Well, no,
and then
it's
it's
Chi,
pronounced Chi. Yeah, I was like, oh, like
Yeah.
I didn't even, but I didn't know it was a Chinese word. Like, I didn't even know. Like on paper,
It is a Han word that means
Doctor, I know we're always going to be together.
what?
it comes from the Han character that's pronounced Chi in Chinese or Ki in Japanese, meaning energy.
Yeah, but if someone said here on paper, it's like this is a QI charger. I thought it was just QI. That's what I'm saying. Like, not only was I like saying it as two letters, wasn't even pronouncing it right. Like, it's like I was so far removed from knowing that it's Chinese Chi. Like it was just like, oh wow, I was so wrong. This James C guy, he actually looks like a younger Jackie Chan.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe.
Sort of, yeah.
He looks like he might do martial arts. Let's see. What else is he in? Ooh, he has a pretty long... Wow, he has a lot of credits as well. What does he do?
Here. There is one.
He was on ER.
Oh, sorry. It doesn't mean energy. It means air or spirit.
Beautiful work.
Yes.
I like the idea of energy, though. That makes more sense. But I guess that's cool, too. I guess it's like transferring spirit into your... Like, that's kind of cool, I guess.
Or like wireless, over the air. Like, like over some not connected medium.
That's
that
cool.
Sort of thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So this guy was on Game Over. I don't know what that is. He was a voice actor. Let's see. Shark Tale. Don't know what that is. Oh, it's a video game. Oh, dude, World of Warcraft. He was on World of Warcraft. Taran Zu. I don't know who that character is, though.
I've literally played World of Warcraft for a sum total of about 10 minutes, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lore, I don't know what I want to know, like out of like how deep lore goes, like on what scale of like Warcraft versus like what is Tolkien versus like who has the most. Okay, so you have Star Wars, you have Warcraft, you have Tolkien, you have Star Trek. What else has like a really deep lore? I guess Harry Potter is probably up there by now.
Harry Potter, yes.
Like,
trying to think
I
of
wonder
other
who
like just huge story.
Yeah,
the whole the Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan character, his entire universe.
Oh yeah. DuckTales.
Woo!
That too.
I just like.
I mean, every day they're out there chasing DuckTales.
And I guess like Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls are on there. I mean, so it's like if you took all these and somehow categorized or quantified like lore, I wonder who has like more, because like WoW's definitely got like a ton, and I'm super curious but how does it stack up against like books? Like
you have to quantify though both like breadth of the lore, like how much is out there, versus, and also the depth of the lore, like how far does it go into the details of all of the characters, all of the places, all of the things, all of the descriptions, all of the interactions. All
quantifying would be the hard part, but I'm just like, a simple way you could just like how many words are written down, on like books or stories. Like that would be like a simple way to do it, because like brute force it, more words equal more lore to a certain degree. So like who has more books written, and it'd be so interesting to see. Because what is it, like Skyrim alone has like 70 books in it, but they're not full books. They're like a couple pages each, but it's like thousands of pages overall, the whole game, which is like, that's just crazy for one game, And then Tolkien has like almost like out of fictitious languages, he's like one of the best ones from what I understand. Like he almost has real languages.
No, Tolkien actually literally invented Elvish as a fictional language. It is an actual, honest-to-God, proper language.
It works for the most part. Yeah. So it's like, that's pretty cool. So I just I don't know. It'd be such an interesting thing to be like, okay, you want to master this lore? This one is the one that would take you like years.
There's also, like in Star Trek, Mark Okrand created the Klingon language, which is actually a proper language in its own right. It's not just like, oh, let me speak crazy random words just because people think it's an alien language. No, it is literally an actual language.
That's cool.
It had, it had like the way he created it, like he specifically wanted it to sound very alien and very harsh. So rather than the usual, like he had it. What was the right word? Rather than the kind of like subject, verb, object ordering that most languages might have, things like English is like, I do this, I write this, I send this to that person, whatever. Klingon. I think it has object, verb, subject, if I remember correctly, or object. Sort of like the way the sentences are structured is just all out of order from what we know. In addition to it just being like a really harsh and guttural sounding language.
That's cool.
It's kind of great. I'd have to look it up to remember exactly what it was, but one of those.
Okay, Tiffany, do you know who Eddie Raja is?
In Uncharted?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Jackie Chan.
Like actually Jackie Chan?
No, it's Jackie Chan for Jackie Chan Adventures Jackie Chan.
Oh, what? I didn't know that.
He had some like extra. He's in Kung Fu Panda, but he's just like credited as like random animals. Batman TV series, which is weird. Yeah, he's Eddie Raja on all the Uncharteds. Guild Wars 2, he's just additional
In
voices.
all the Uncharted, he only shows up in like 1.
3, 1, 2.
He was in
Multiplayer.
3?
Multiplayer voice.
Oh, I see.
Let's see, what is 3? I don't know, he's in something. He's just credited as Eddie Raja in 3. And then in 2, it's multiplayer voice. So I don't know.
Probably the same.
That character, he's that character, doesn't matter. In Fallout 4, he's Jun Long and Dr. Sun. Hitman, he's Kong Tu Kwang. I'm probably saying these wrong, I'm sorry. A lot of stuff I don't know. These must be... Well, Miles from Tomorrowland TV series, he's some guy in there. He's something. Sophie the Fist, don't know what that is. Bunch of Kung Fu Panda stuff. He's a monkey or something like that. In those, more Kung Fu Panda stuff. He's in a lot of Kung Fu Panda stuff. How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World. I guess it's coming out this year. Is that the
I
new
think it's
one?
probably like the TV show. No, it's probably the TV show.
Oh, I don't know what that is then. Yeah. I always find these careers of these people interesting. Like all they do is voice actor work, and they're like in so many things, but you don't know it.
One character.
Yeah. Well, I mean, him specifically, he's not any like major character, so that's unfortunate. But those other people are like, whoa, they're the same. What? They're the same person? Is that what? Like, and you would never know that though. Like walking on the street, that's what's always crazy to me. No. That's the new. That's How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is the new one. He's in that.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
He's probably the Asian guy in that one.
Okay, this is really hard to read. Kang Hatati. Okay, Chang Hatati Kang. That sound like
that sounded right, but I have no idea what the right one is. So
there is like a group of like dragon people or whatever, and there's one very obvious like Asian guy. It's probably
yeah. I would love it if they're like, "Hello, other fellow dragon rider." Yes, I am, and then it's like him, like Jackie Chan voice. Like I agree. We could only find the one. We only got the one guy. we couldn't find 3 other voice actors.
Low key, that's kind of how it was.
I don't get judged.
What an interesting.
This guy kind of looks like Liam Neeson a little bit.
Oh yeah, like his shorter faced version.
Yeah, like an older, like a weird, like a more Italian version of him.
Italian Liam Neeson.
Yeah. Someone did the face waterfall on him too many times.
Oh no.
Why was she? I missed like totally like why she's in witness protection though. She saw him kill someone.
Yep. So basically, like as a mob boss, he ended up killing someone when she wasn't there, but she had run in back into her room. Okay. I think she had forgotten something.
Makes sense.
But then she saw him kill her, and then she's like, "Oh crap, I got to get away." And yeah.
What an unfortunate thing. She's like, "Oops, I forgot something." And then now you're a nun.
So that's
this is the story about how I became a nun. I forgot a thing and walked back in. Little did I know that someone was dead, and this is how I ended up
a nun.
Nun town. All I could think of was like a head. Like
you could say she was anointed. Get it? Like anointed, but no. Okay, that was bad. That was really bad.
That wasn't awful.
It wasn't good though.
No, it was not. It was very not good.
This is a long movie.
Wait. We don't go 1, 2, and shoot on 3.
Wow, it's so funny. That was so funny. How much more? Not lots.
How much more? Oh, I thought you were gonna say like how much, like how funny can that get?
It's so funny because these guys won't kill her because they're like chicken.
Well, because they're like, we can't kill a nun. Like that's just rude.
But don't they know that she's not one?
Well,
Yeah, but where are your morals?
but
Well, I
she's
mean-
actually like pretending to be a nun. Like she's trying to be like pious and religious and act like, oh, God bless you and all of this sort of thing.
But they should know better that that's fake.
Maybe.
Oh, she's maybe trying to fool them. I guess because these guys seem
Yeah.
really dumb.
Because they know not what they do.
That's her way of just like, she just has to survive this, right? So
It's like a sandstorm. You just wait till it passes.
Take care of his business.
right.
That's not what you forget them, Lord. Spectrum, spiritum, cacum, tutu.
I don't know what's happening in this scene.
And now she's like trying to just random Latin stuff, so it sounds like she's praying. And she just punched both of them in the balls.
This got really like physical humor funny for some reason. Was the whole movie like this silly? That was like really
the
silly.
First scene where she's running away from the mob boss
is pretty.
is basically this again,
Oh,
where it's
okay.
like she's running through the kitchen and through the utilities and all of this, and so now it's like, I guess that actually makes this a very good musical movie because like if you count that first scene,
Yeah.
this is basically a reprise of that scene.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
that's a very clever cinematography.
The
director.
music
Great job.
is like music. The movie
Right?
is like music. I'm just
What a
like,
very nice
this
choice
is
of
such
directing.
like typical like 90s, like these are the bad guys. Boing, boing, boing. Like,
Yeah, like Home Alone.
yeah. But I was always wondering, is like, was the movie always like this, or is this just like an out of place scene? But I guess you're saying the first scene was like this, then the whole movie has that kind of silly overtone.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to have that.
That's a thing that's been like getting on my nerves recently in TV shows. I don't know, or like in pretty much any media because it has to be, but because otherwise the stories could not work. But it's always that thing where the villain stalls. And then that person gets the upper hand and like knocks the gun out of the hand. But like no one, if you're going to murder them, you just like do it. And it's like, but of course, then the villains would win every time, every single time.
Well,
you know.
Also, if you're a super villain and like your entire purpose is wanting power, you want to be like, haha, look at me showing off how I got my power and how good I am at getting power and all of this. It's like,
Yeah, in a fictional sense, sure, but I think like someone who's like, it's this thing where it's like, okay, you like a villain in terms of like the context of the story just exists already in that way. But if you're like, okay, if someone actually made that climb, they would understand like the importance of like stopping the person who's trying to stop you without like any hesitation. So like, I don't know, it's just like this thing where it's like I don't know, it's a storytelling device that has to happen. Otherwise villains would never be like ever be stopped. They're just like, you won't get up, boom. Okay, that guy's done. James Bond is gone now for good. I just shot him in the head like without any hesitation. And they're like, okay, well that's not a good story. That would never work.
yeah, you don't have to do the thing where you tie him to the table and have the laser slowly cut upward toward him. Like, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
That's also like a very
why?
exaggerated version of it. But yeah, it's like, it's basically that. And everything like points a gun and doesn't immediately pull the trigger within like a second of a heartbeat, like a soldier would. You know, like all the good guys roll over on their back and shoot. But the bad guys always like pointed at their head and say, come with me, or like, you know, something, always giving them an opportunity to escape every single time.
It's like Syndrome from the first Incredibles movie. It's like, you sly dog, you got me monologuing.
Yeah. That was definitely poking fun at that thing. That I can't remember something I was thinking specifically what it was, because like it's also the thing too. Like I've heard like, I don't know where I heard this. Some guy like who's been in combat was like, yeah, you never go in like outgunned. Like you just don't survive that. Like if you're not at least the majority, you know, like 2v2 or like 3v2, if you're anything besides that, like you're dead. He's like, you're dead. There's no way. Like, yeah. And so like these shows were like rolling around on the ground and like anything like that. It's like always funny to me.
What about like PvP?
Yeah, PvP. But
I don't know, when it comes to PvP games, I've had some pretty questionable players on my team, so I don't know that that's, even if we had numbers advantage, we probably still would have lost sometimes, and that's kind of disturbing. But could just be the particular games I'm playing, so who knows. I like how she's using like her secret knowledge. Well, not really secret, but like actual knowledge of the club.
This is basically Assassin's Creed now.
You know what I wish though? I wish she had like cool nun gadgets.
Like
it was like a
nunchucks
Mission
as weapons.
Yeah,
Nunchucks.
the nunchuck nun.
Nun with a gun. You know, like all of the above.
We could call them the fun nun guns.
Yeah, Funyuns.
Oh, that was terrible. They're fun. See, the things I say are funny to me for like 5 seconds, and then they're just done. And that was like a 1 second. So
Favalava
even that was
says like the cross is a grappling gun. No, the crosses are throwing stars. Come on.
What? No, crosses are like crossbows.
Oh, what about like size?
Scythes?
Oh, like size.
Like the little blades with the 2 blades that come off the side of the handle?
Like a 3-pronged blade.
Yeah.
She should do a thing, right? So the guy's pointing the gun at her, and she's like, but which one am I? And then jump into the crowd of nuns. And then like, I can't tell. They're all nuns.
She's still a nun.
I want her to say like, none your business or something like that.
Yeah, come on.
Sister Mary Clarence of St. Catherine's Convent. She's a model of generosity, virtue, and love.
Shut up, Harry Potter.
For it, gentlemen, she is a nun.
Is that actually the lady from Harry Potter?
Yeah, it's Professor McGonagall. I'm so sure of it.
No, it is her.
What the heck was that? Was that special effects? That looked really weird. Why couldn't they have done that practically?
Cast. Holy crap, it is Dame Maggie Smith.
Yeah. Why'd you doubt us?
I was saying, like, she's the same.
I don't doubt it's like a.
She's
just can't
playing the
believe
same
that
character in the beginning. She's like,
different character.
She's like, why won't you behave?
It's like, why is it always the 3 of you?
So wild.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
She's like pulled the Ron character by the ear and was like, get over here. You're in detention, other nun. Wait a minute. I can't put you in detention. You're an adult.
How could you betray me like this? You are nothing. Get him out of here.
Oh, how come they didn't arrest him earlier in the movie? Wasn't she? Isn't the
They didn't have evidence for him, or enough rather evidence.
Isn't that like what the whole like what a witness is for?
I hold you responsible.
Yeah. I don't know exactly. They just needed a story so that they could put her in the convent.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The whole thing was just a vehicle to like, how about this lady who comes and sings and teaches the nuns about having fun? But why would she be there? I don't know. Mobster?
That, by Jove, we've got it.
You've cracked it.
Van Cartier.
Ha 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 ha. Don't know these jokes?
Sister, we have a concert to do.
I thought you were leaving.
We can't both of us leave.
Dun 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 dun.
They all fly away on brooms.
Yeah, and it's like this is a prequel to Harry Potter. Who is that comedian? What is that movie? I'm trying to think of.
Okay, so this song, for some reason, does not make me feel good. And I don't know why. It makes me very, very like. Was this song ever like in Chucky or some scary movie?
You need to just like lower it into a minor key, and then it would be a perfect horror song. I'm sorry, but it's true.
What is this song?
Yeah, like it. I don't know.
That's right. That Spy in Disguises movie comes out this year. It looks pretty good. Will Smith?
I don't know.
I don't like Will Smith as an actor, but it was pretty funny when he was a pigeon.
When he was a pigeon?
Spy in Disguises. That's the movie where he becomes a pigeon.
What? I've never heard of it.
What? You haven't seen it? Will Smith's a pigeon. It's pretty funny. It's got Tom Holland in it too. It's got a lot of. Oh, DJ Khaled is in it. Oh my gosh, what a cast! Give me away.
What is, other than like her show, her morning show, what has Whoopi Goldberg been up to?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I don't know what she's famous for besides like this, and I don't know why she's
Ghost?
She's still famous.
She was Guinan in Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh yeah. I don't know, man. It seems like she's still wickedly famous and hasn't done anything in a long time that I'm aware of. And maybe I'm just ignorant to Whoopi Goldberg knowledge or news, but it seems crazy to me.
How far back is your how deep is your Whoopi Goldberg lore?
Lore? I don't know. I've only read the first 3 books.
The spin-off book is pretty good.
Well, I definitely don't delve into like the extended universe. It's not canon. It was recently moved out of canon, so I definitely don't read any of that.
Yeah, but those were written by guest authors, and those are like better.
I know, but it's not. It doesn't count towards the Whoopi lore. The lore.
But I like it. But I like it because it considers a lot of like fan theories into it.
I mean, it's fun because if you consider the alternate universes, but it requires rejecting so many of the the other scenarios. Like it goes directly against this scene per se. Like that lady's dead in some of the other books. I'm like, well, I can't.
Rip.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah, but the other books never explore Whoopi Goldberg during her like childhood years.
But she never does this movie though, because she doesn't drop out of college, which forces her to go to Las Vegas and then sing and all that. So it totally avoids the best part of the Lorpy, which is this movie. Why is there like scaffolding in the church?
They were fixing the roof.
Oh,
they were fixing the roof. Like the whole montage they had in the middle of the movie was them fundraising to fix the roof, and like they were singing along and like getting people to come to church because their choir was so good.
So good. I love it if like that was the beginning of the church sermon and everyone starts getting up to leave. Like no, we just hold on. That was just the opening song. Oh right. Everyone sits back down.
Wow.
I like that heaven helped me rather than heaven saved me or something like that. I don't know, helped me, I guess. It's pretty good. Anyways, that's the end of the movie, you guys. So we're going to rate the movie. We're going to give it a 1 to 10 rating based on how we think the movie works as a group viewing movie. So these movie nights that we do. But before that, just want to remind you guys about a few things that we got going on. BufferBuddies.com. BufferBuddies.com. If you're listening to this podcast, it's spelled the same way, BufferBuddies.com. I also have a new thing where if you do BufferBuddies.com/52, it will take you to the page for that episode. I don't know why. I just it does that now. I did that for you guys. So it's a new thing. You need to jump to a certain episode. Also, so if you want to join, listen in, do it live, all that stuff, go to BufferBuddies.com as the thing. We definitely need more speakers helping us out here. And all that stuff, so definitely would appreciate if anyone did that. Also, sharing the podcast with your friends would also help us out along too. I keep an eye on the downloads. It'd be totally cool to see those like kind of go up a little bit more. If you're enjoying this at all, I know it's like a wacky, crazy, unedited kind of a thing. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Make sure you guys connect with us on Twitter at BufferBuddies or at UpDownLeftDie. And then again, me and Tiffany, we stream almost every day of the week in some form or another, or create some kind of content on our Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/UpDownLeftDie. And we usually do that 8 p.m. Pacific time. Most nights, it's a lot of fun. We hope I'd say that's funnier than this if you're going to pick something. But that's 3 hours long. So, I mean, I don't know. Weigh your odds. That's pretty much it, I think. Okay.
I go first.
Okay.
I give this movie 10 out of 10 long tubes you blow air into.
That's pretty good. Who's going? I guess I'll go next. I will give it 10 out of 10 fearful of the Lord mobsters.
What?
Fearful of the Lord mobsters because they didn't shoot her.
Lord-fearing monsters? Mobsters?
Oh, yeah, God-fearing. There you go. God-fearing. There you go.
I heard Lord-fearing lobsters, and I was so very confused by that. Okay. 5 out of 10 fair use claims.
That's actually pretty good.
I had nothing to reference the movie with. I was like, oh, shoot. What was happening to any of this? Favalava or Fava or whatever you guys call him. You guys know this guy. He's one of our blogger writers on UpDownLeftDie.com. Go check out his stuff. He gives it 9 out of 10 humanity tubes. That was taken, dude. You got to think of a new one.
No, that is his.
Oh,
that is his.
What was yours, Tiffany?
big long tubes you blow air into.
Those are the
It's a little
same
bit
thing. Okay,
No,
whatever.
one's a brass tube, the other's a person.
Okay. Do we have any
It's
other
fine,
ratings? Do we
Jared,
miss?
don't worry.
It's too
It's
similar.
fine.
Google will pick up on that and think we're frauds. Did Aranya give anyone? Did anyone else? I'm gonna turn off this music.
No, everyone's
Okay.
a busta. No, they didn't say anything because they all got whisked away into witness protection programs.
Okay. Oh, is Hogwarts just a witness protection program?
Wait a minute.
He had a catastrophic like mind break. He's like, I'm a wizard, and they're like, yes, we're all wizards hiding from the mob. Do you mean Voldemort? Yes, Voldemort is the mob. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Did I blow everyone's minds?
You just blew my
You
mind.
heard it here first. I'm gonna ask J.K. Rowling. She's gonna tweet it, and it'll become canon.
Wait, Jared, Jackie Chan in Hogwarts.
Oh my gosh, that would be so good. How come Jackie Chan wasn't one of the teachers?
I'm upset.
Yeah.
Racism.
Because the only magic he knows is Yumo Goi Goi Fai Di Cao.
Oh my gosh.
But also now I just ruined Harry Potter for me. Now I'm gonna be like, how come Jackie Chan isn't here? Okay, so there's like two schools, right? There's Hogwarts. What school do they fight against with Cedric? Where does he come from? No, Cedric is part of Hogwarts. What is the other school?
Cedric with House Gryffindor, yeah.
Yeah, what was the other school?
Cedric was Hufflepuff, I thought.
Shut up.
Was he?
What was the one from the House Cup? And it was like Russians. Was that from Russia?
Dunder Mifflin.
Thunder Mifflin. What? How come?
Beats the heck out of me. They weren't important anyway.
They weren't. They lost.
How dare you?
So there's Hogwarts, that one. Then there's the American one, right? And where's the China one? Where's the one from China?
Yeah, wait a minute. Now I'm upset.
Yeah. Chris said he had one, but he's definitely not typing it. Oh, wait, did we not read it? Oh, he said 10 out of 10 church nuns. Got it. Check. Okay, that's it. Everyone's a busta. If you don't listen to this podcast and share with your friends or show up, you're a busta. Get out of here. What are you doing? I'm walking here. And listen to my podcast here.
Are you okay, Jared?